Hi everyone. Welcome to the season 2, episode 6 of MOV Leaders. In the season 2, as you all know, we are choosing specific topics, specific industry, and meeting the experts to give various insights for the people who are striving to grow in the industry. In one of the previous episodes, we spoke about how women leadership are very difficult in real estate industry. It was a rare industry to find women talent. Similarly, there is one another industry, insurance. It's such a big industry, but do we really get a lot of women leaders to be seen there? Very few like Sarah, who are there for 21 years and proving to be an extraordinary leader in those industries, are available nowadays. So, this episode, we are going to talk about elevating women leadership in insurance industry. And Sarah has also written a great book, Undiscovered Voices, unleashing the potential of women leaders in insurance industry. Without any further delay, let's welcome Sarah to the show. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sarah. So, how are you feeling to be part of MOV Leaders?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm super excited. I'm going global now. I've only done podcasts in the US, so I'm super excited about that.
Equally excited here, Sarah, to have you because I always wonder and admire about women leaders like you who are making their way in the tough industry like insurance and sustaining and being in a leadership position. And you not only you guys are stopping there, right? You folks are coming out and giving the guidance to the women who wants to strive in this kind of industry. So I'm super excited to have you here in the show, Sarah. Once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad
I
to be
just
here.
thank you. I'm just curious, Sarah. How did you ended up in starting your career or growing your career in insurance industry? And 21 years is not a less time to be there in a particular industry, that too tough industry like insurance. And how your journey looks like. And on top of it, I am really surprised reading your book. I became fan of your book for sure. So all this journey, how it all happened, Sarah.
Thank you. Yes. So insurance is one of those industries that I think a lot of people fall into rather than get into on purpose. It's possibly changing, hopefully, with the next generation. However, I did the same thing. I thought I was going to be an advertising marketing major, which has served me well, or that was my major in college, and I thought I was going to get into that industry. It's served me well in the insurance industry because you don't see a ton of creative people in it. So it's enabled me to position myself differently. However, I originally just fell into it because it was the only job I could find in 2001, when right after September 11th and all the advertising and marketing type budgets got cut. I've grown. It took me a few years to really actually understand the industry and get to where I enjoy it. And really, what made me find a love for it is realizing that I'm really in a position to help people in their darkest time of need. So, like a house burning down, helping them during that claim situation, or someone passing away in a family, a major car accident. I can be there really to be their shoulder and to help them along their journey. And being able to help people is really what has motivated me and kept me inspired to stay in this type of industry.
Touching lives of the people is the greatest thing in this industry. It's all always a perception. So amazing perception, Sarah. So how did this book happen?
So I have a love-hate relationship with the insurance industry. I love that I get to help people and use skills to help others. But the hate and hard part has been the barriers that are put in place to keep women from moving up to higher level positions. I've been, I've seen people that are maybe not female, maybe men, and especially white men in our industry move up extremely quickly in short periods of time. And a lot of times I would say that they maybe are 50% of have 50% of the talent that I have. So these would be people that maybe their production was only half of my amount. Maybe they weren't as good at soft skills or marketing and advertising. However, for some reason, I'm getting told that I can't move up past certain levels. Most of the time, I'm being told I can't move up past certain levels because I'm too good at what I do. So I'm being punished for being good, which I don't understand. But then when they talk to my male counterparts, and tell them, hey, we're going to move you and you're going to be Sarah's manager, even though she's better at what y'all do. We just don't want her to move past this position because we think she's tapped out. And so it's really been a struggle coming to terms with hitting this barrier. And I would say that maybe it was just one employer if it was just one time, but I've had several employers, and it's happened almost every single place that I've worked, where they usually tell me either you can't do, the management position, we don't see you as moving into this type of spot. Maybe they think I'm getting too old to do much more in my career. And honestly, I think I'm in the prime of my career. So that part I didn't understand. At 34 years old, I had one employer tell me that I was already getting older, so I should just be happy with what I have, that there's not much more room for growth because I'm 34. I didn't really understand that. So when talking to other women in the insurance industry, a lot of us have the same struggles and barriers. Yet if we talk to the leadership or men about it, a lot of times they'll place the blame back on us. They'll tell us that we're not asking for promotions, we're not asking for raises, we're not doing the trainings in order to move up in the industry, which I've debunked along the way throughout the book, because we do that and more. We have to push through so much more than a white male would in order to move up in the industry. So I'm hoping that if I can start changing that and making it so that the women who are talented that want to be in the industry and want to move up have that capability, then maybe we'll start opening it up to other marginalized people as well, and really bringing in just tons more talent and changing the industry for the better.
Inspiring and interesting, Sarah, because I see a lot of women. It's not only in insurance industry; it's everywhere. Even I have narrated my experience multiple times, but I could sense that intensity in the insurance will be uh, more. I could see that, but I'm just curious to understand: is this because always this chicken and egg problem? I used to always think: is it because less women are there, more discriminations are happening, or if more women are there or better diversity is there, will the situation gets better? In that case, why no more diversity is happening? Is it because of the lack of talent in the insurance industry, or and also as you said, right, a lot of white older males are reaching out to the leadership position, and 61% of women are there in insurance industry, but they are dropping up at the certain point of level, and they are not able to grow beyond it. Why this is all happening? Is it because of the tough nature of insurance industry? Women are struggling to grow over a point, and they are dropping at a particular point, or is it really a lack of talent, which specific talent which is required in insurance industry is lagging in the women? Which is right, Sarah?
So we have plenty of talented women in the insurance industry. Like you said, 61% of the industry are women, and 39% are men, yet only 12% of the 61% of the women make it into leadership roles. And I guarantee that 30 to 40% of the 60% are talented women that are in the industry. We're just getting stuck. And a lot of it has to do with either a lot like-minded people like to promote like-minded people. So if you have a majority of men in leadership and they want to go and help their buddy who maybe is similar personality to them and really like mentor them, then they're going to pull that other guy that's just like them up into leadership and take for granted all the talented women below them that maybe have a different perception of the industry and have different values. However, those different values would benefit the industry so much. Like, we could grow exponentially and build our leadership talent pool exponentially if the women were getting seen just as much as the men were for what they're doing. And then the other part of that is a lot of women start off in staff roles instead of in career business roles, which is kind of like the way the insurance industry has been set up since the 1800s, which is a long time ago. We should be making changes. But the in-staff positions, a lot of times they don't look at those for being promoted. And the in-staff positions are going to be like your customer service roles, maybe your accounting roles, that type of thing. Versus in career positions, maybe they're starting off as a producer and then they get to move into sales manager. And then from there, they're moving into upper management, and it just kind of grows. So that differentiation actually makes it hard for women to move up as well. There's no reason for in-staff positions not to move into career goals as well, like into career positions. We just have to figure out how the path will lead differently, because you have plenty of customer service people to manage and to learn from. And it really takes, in the insurance industry, you need the account managers and the producers working simultaneously, helping one another out in order to have true growth and reach your fullest potential in this industry. So we need to change how those roles are seen and how we promote within those roles.
It's very true. It's very true, Sarah. See, gone are those days, right, where women are not wanting to pursue their career, or they're dropping their career. In fact, like, now women are taking a career break for the family and coming back and still finding a way to move up to the leadership roles. And we have that fighting capacity. It's not like we don't have that fighting capacity, hence we are dropping the ball. It's maybe, as you rightly said, that change comes within inside. So, and I'm very happy that women leaders like you, who are coming as an example and writing books like what you did, to guide people who wanted to explore newer opportunities. Today, it's always like we have to see this, right? Shortage is an opportunity. So if women wants to really strive in this competitive environment, there is a plenty of opportunities in insurance industry. All they have to do is to look up to mentors like you and grab the opportunities and grow in the industry when it is hot. So that's a great thing you have answered, Sarah. And one more thing I was curious to know in your book. So when I went through your book, it was not like usual guide, right? Like 12 steps to success or 10 steps to success. It was not like that, right? That's how people generally write. But it was more of problem solution statements in your book. So what made you to choose this approach?
I wanted to prove that we still had a problem in the industry, and I wanted to do it twofold. I wanted to prove that leadership has a problem in the insurance industry, and the problem is that they're complaining that we have a talent shortage. So I wanted to take that problem, that leadership, so it's going to be your, white males in leadership. It's going to be your leadership positions complaining that we don't have enough talent. We're afraid to retire. We're afraid the industry is not going to do as well. We don't know what to do kind of situation. I wanted to take that complaint and then actually take the complaint or the problem that women have, which is we are talented, but yet we can't move up past a certain point and solve the problem. So I wanted to take the two problems, the industry problem and the problem that women were having, and I wanted to marry the two. However, in order to do that, I needed to show that although, companies and social media like to say, oh, we're more equitable, we've moved the needle, there's more women in leadership than ever before, this and that, I wanted to show that it's all a facade. It really hasn't changed. And the women in the industry know and feel that from experience. So I wanted to prove my point on why it hasn't changed and how it hasn't changed, and share personal stories so that women won't feel so alone in having those issues. For a long time, I thought I was the problem. I didn't realize the industry was having a problem. It took a lot of soul searching and research, and the book actually was really good therapy for me. And then reaching out with other women and finding their struggles and putting that in the book really was cathartic. And it was just, I just want other women to know they're not alone and that it's an industry problem, that they're not the problem, but hopefully we are working towards change. And then the second half of the book, after I've stated everyone's problems and why we have those problems, and I wanted to show, okay, that we have a problem. How do we solve this problem? How do we use the two problems and find a resolution? So I really wanted to strive for change. I'm hoping that I can get leadership to look at this book and say, you know what, Sarah and all these other women that have been telling us we need to make changes are right. Let's go ahead and start doing that. So that's my hope with it.
Interesting, Sarah. It was an amazing answer. So that made me to ask the next question. As you rightly said, that all bizarre and you wanted to prove a point. So is it this really a delusion that insurance industry is getting better for women? Is it real or how?
Yeah, it's so it hasn't gotten better yet. When I did my research, and I actually researched this recently just to see if the needle has moved as far as women moving past lower management positions, it hasn't changed since 1950.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's like, how many years is that? That's a lot of years that we had the same amount of women in leadership positions as we did in the 50s. So, and like regular, e-commerce has actually doubled that. Like they're at 24% leadership of women and with women in leadership, which is still not high enough. Yet we're still stuck in the 50s, really. And do we want to be stuck? Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, the 50s were an easier time, this and that. I don't think they were. I think they were a whole lot worse than they were now, but they're actually the same in insurance. So it's time to get out of the 50s and move on to the 2022s.
Bravo, Sarah, because it takes a courage, right, to tell that there is a problem in the industry. Because half of the times I have always noticed. So when I try discussing a problem, even in my previous workplace, when I used to have some issues, I wanted some support because people know that only if I go and say, people will not take it seriously. So I wanted a lot of support from fellow women. They'll be very scared. They will say, no, what if we come and say, what if we spoke and they will, not give us appraisal? We will have a problem. They'll put us on PIP unnecessary issues. Let me stay down and this is okay. So it is very difficult to make women open up and say this is what they are going on. So I'm so much impressed on you that you have boldly come up and said that. And I'm sure that in multiple forums you have made this point, and undiscovered voices are something. You've been voices for those undiscovered voices. So personally, hats off from my side, Sarah. I'm so glad that I got this time with you. So I always wonder, am I being foolishly brave? But seeing people like you, I'm being assured that it's not so. So you have to be brave and you have to speak up for yourself sometime. That will not only going to bring in change for you, but for the society. So if you can be that tool, nothing like that. So thanks for being that tool, Sarah. And I'm sure that going down the lane, the needle will be moved and you would have contributed significantly for that. Thank you once again for coming onto the show, Sarah. You have anything to say?
Well, I appreciate that. And definitely, like you said, it is scary being the one to speak up. And even when I got collected stories from other people in the book, I had to make sure that I took anything that maybe related to them or that people could figure out who that person was out of the story, because of fear for them, and them not wanting to reveal who they are just in case retaliation could maybe happen or it could hurt their career. And the book writing journey has not been an easy one. I've had some repercussions However, it's been important enough for me to continue and move onward. So I really appreciate others helping me to spread the word about it and make it a worthwhile mission. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks a lot once again for coming into the show. Thank you, everyone, for watching this show. And until I bring in one more strong personality like Sarah, this is Scindia signing off from all of you. Thank you.